Number 10. The Riddle House. The Riddle House in Palm Beach County, Florida, was originally a funeral parlor. Joseph, one of Riddle's former employees, committed suicide by hanging himself in the attic of the house. Joseph, for whatever reason, hated men and displays this hatred by attacking men who entered the attic. One man had a lid flung at his head, and men are no longer allowed to enter the attic. Other places in the house are haunted as well, with furniture being moved frequently. Number 9. Helltown. The northern part of Summit County in Ohio is known by the eerily blunt moniker Helltown. Whether based on a kernel of truth or cooked up in the heads of creative visitors, the persistent legends of Helltown add to the creep factor. The steep Stanford Road drop-off immediately followed by a dead end is aptly named the end of the world. If you get stuck at this dead end for too long, according to ghost story enthusiasts, you may meet your end at the hands of many members of the endless parade of freaks patrolling the woods. Satanists, Ku Klux Klan members, an escaped mental patient, an abnormally large snake, and mutants caused by an alleged chemical spill proudly march in this parade. And if you stray from the roads, you may find Boston Cemetery, home to a ghostly man, grave robbers, and the quirkiest of all, a moving tree. Number 8. Stoll Cemetery. Stoll, Kansas is a tiny unincorporated town in Douglas County. In the early 20th century, two tragedies rocked the tiny settlement. First, a father finished burning a farm field only to find the charred corpse of his young son in the aftermath. The second incident to occur was a man went missing and was later found hanged from a tree. As far as legends go, the infamous cemetery is where you can find your fill of supernatural lore. The book Weird US has this to say about the Stoll Cemetery. There are graveyards across America that go beyond merely being haunted and enter into the realm of the diabolical. There are places so terrifying that they say the devil himself holds courts with his worshippers there. The cemetery on Emmanuel Hill in Stoll, Kansas is one of these places. Rumors exist stating that the Stoll Cemetery is one of the 7 gateways to hell. Rumors exist stating that Stoll Cemetery is one of the 7 gateways to hell. Number 7. The Ridges. Athens, Ohio is listed as the 13th most haunted place in the world as per the British Society for Physical Research. The nearby Ohio University is said to be heavily haunted. The notorious rapist with dissociative identity disorder Billy Milligan was housed at this facility for years. The most famous story, however, is that a 54-year-old female patient who ran away and was missing for 6 weeks. She was found dead in an unused ward. She had taken off all of her clothes, neatly folded them, and laid down on the cold concrete where she subsequently died. Through a combination of decomposition and sun exposure, her corpse left a permanent mark on the stained floor, which is still visible today. Her spirit now haunts the abandoned ward. Number 6. Humberstone and Lenoria. These two abandoned mining towns in Chile were recently featured on an episode of Sci-Fi's channel Destination Truth. It is rumored that the dead of the Lenoria cemetery rise at night and walk around the town, and ghostly images frequently show up on photographers in Humberstone. These towns are so terrifying the residents of nearby Iquique refuse to enter them. The former resident never left and can be seen walking around, and children have been heard playing. The cemetery of Lenoria, regardless of whether the occupants actually walk at night, contains open graves where the bodies are fully exposed, leaving you to wonder why. Is it a ghost or is it grave robbers? As if either prospect is very appealing. Number 5. Byberry Mental Asylum. The Philadelphia State Hospital at Byberry, or simply known as Byberry, was the poster image for patient mental treatment. The terrifying aspects of this location isn't so much its hauntings or the unsavory characters that lurked after dark. The terror here comes from the facts of how the hospital was run. Human excrement lined the hallways, which was where many patients slept. The staff was abusive and frequently exploited and harassed patients. One patient had a tooth pulled without a Novocaine, while another killed and dismembered a female patient. Although the killer, Charles Gable, was never found, the victim's body was found strewn across the property. Number 4. The Leap Castle. While this Irish castle is perhaps the most popular location featured on the list, it is worth recapping the long and often gruesome history. The castle is rumored to be haunted by a vast number of spirits, including a violent, hunched beast known only as the Elemental. It is most recognizable by the accompanying smell of rotten flesh and sulfur. While renovating the castle, workers discovered a ceiling hatch into which prisoners are thrown, then forgotten and left to die. Number 3. Shades of Death Road. This New Jersey road winds through 7 miles of countryside, and along that stretch it gives us no definitive clues to the origin of its eerie name. One day during the 1900s, some visitors found hundreds of Polaroid photographs scattered in woods just off the road. They took some and shared them with Weird New Jersey, which published a few samples. Most of the disturbing images showed a television changing channels, others showed women or women's, blurred and somewhat difficult to identify, lying on some sort of object, conscious but not smiling. Local police began an investigation after the magazine ran an item with the photos, but the remainder disappeared shortly afterward. Number 2. Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum. Welcome to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, home of the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum. This former high school was converted in 1975 to a security prison by Khmer Rouge. The ghosts of an estimated 17,000 victims of Tuol Sleng continue to roam the halls, and odd happenings around the place are often attributed to them. It isn't hard to see why. Most were forced to confess to crimes they didn't actually commit. Although most victims were Cambodians, many foreigners fell victim to the death machine, including Americans, French, a New Zealander, a Briton, Australians, Arabs, Indians, Pakistanis, and a Vietnamese. Only 12 people are known to survive. Number 1. The Mines of Paris. It is a seemingly infinite tunnel that runs below the streets of Paris. The mines are now unkempt, unpatrolled, and unsafe. As far as legends go, ancient cults and creatures patrol the depths. Spirits dwell in the infinite shadows, and if one wanders deep enough and survives, they may even enter hell itself. As far as reality goes, those legends can take a seat back.